Hey guys, my name is Josh. I'm here with Laura, one of our fantastic clients at Think Fit. Welcome, Laura.
Hi.
A little bit nerve-wracking. It's something we don't usually do, but we had a great experience yesterday with Laura. So we just recently introduced the Evolt, which is a scanner, basically a body scanner. It does things like body fat, skeletal muscle mass, lean mass, and also your bio age. So I guess we'll start with where everyone usually sits and their struggles with the bathroom scales. Laura, do you want to tell me a little bit about how that's kind of influenced your journey?
The stressful journey of the bathroom scales. I hate them. They're my worst enemy, I think. I've just noticed over the last couple of years that they just kept creeping up and up, like the numbers on the scale. And I was moving further away from my weight goal because I've always had that. I never really cared about my weight as such, and I used to eat whatever I wanted, which I still pretty well do. But it was more of the fact that I'd always been used to being around that same place. And I started training and it was a little bit disheartening that I noticed there was improvements, don't get me wrong, but the scales were just my worst nightmare. So when when I get on them, and I religiously do, like, it's probably a really bad habit for me, but
Yeah.
every week without fail, same time, jump on them, and you either see a good result or a bad result. And then if it's a bad result, then Monday, jump on them again. Wednesday, jump on them again.
Yeah.
So it becomes this cycle of really putting yourself down and into this position of feeling that you're failing, I think, for me.
100%. I definitely know that feeling myself, especially with my
Mm.
struggles. I think there was a point where I didn't jump on the scale for 2 years, did heaps of
Yeah.
training, different style of training. And then I jumped on, I was like 5 kilos heavier, freaked out and thought, I have to cut back. I have to do this. There's something innate about it. I guess cultural parents, the way they used to talk about weight, the way we think about weight. People try to say media, but it is really our choice about what
Yeah.
we think and we see and we think is right. So yeah, I totally resonate with you there. And what did it lead you to any bad habits other than like just be upset?
Yeah, it did. So I'm about 10 kilos heavier than what I was, say, a couple of years ago. So I will forget about food entirely and I won't eat. I'll drink more coffee. I'll basically not consciously starve myself. And then it'd lead to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that usual time when your head's not really in a good space. And I'd find that I was just binging on all this bad food. And that's why, I'm feeling in this mood of helplessness that I can't do anything about it. And then I'm not helping myself by getting out of those habits. My sleep was affected and my mood. Yeah, it was
Yeah, and you're definitely
pretty
not
rough.
alone. The amount of people that have told me they do like late night snacks and stuff, it does blow my mind. I've never done it, but when I've heard it more often from clients and stuff, I'm like, oh, and the usual culprit is not
Yeah,
eating enough food, right?
that's right. Yeah,
And
100%. And I don't eat enough. I know I don't eat enough food,
yeah,
but you
and we
think that
talked
would
about
show
that.
you results.
You're a very busy woman, and you get trapped into your work, and um, it's just
Yeah.
building those habits, which we continue to do. But now that you don't have to fight with the weight on the scale and thinking eating too much food will be the issue,
Yeah.
I think we can move forward in a really good way. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about the actual scan. So last night when
Okay.
you jumped on, did you have any worries about jumping on?
It was just another scale to begin with. It was like, oh, it's going to be heavier than my scales at home, and it's going to just show me how much fat I'm carrying, and it's really not going to be good. And it's this whole self-perception that we have about what we expect and what we believe us to look like. And even when we see ourselves in the mirror, it's not really what is there. So I was a bit worried.
And how did it turn out?
It was excellent. It was really good. I was so surprised. I've actually been in a really good mood since, to be honest. So, and no
Yeah.
snacking last night either. I had a good night's sleep eventually, but
Okay.
it's just really changed it changed everything pretty much for me with how I perceive the way I look. So
Amazing. Just because a number said something different,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Absolutely
100%.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And what was your favorite stat that you saw?
Oh, the best stat was probably the fact that my body is 3 years younger than my actual age. I think that was
Great.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the other one was that I've got a high lean body mass as well. That
Yeah,
was
definitely.
cool.
So I actually found it. I didn't know I could find it, but now I found the sheet, and 52.6 kilos of lean muscle mass.
Yeah.
So Laura's been training with us in the strong fit section, and ultimately the amazing thing is the other stats, so the bio age and the body wellness indicator score, and that's a relevance between fat mass and body mass. So she's in a really good position where like it's fairly like she's leaning more towards the lean muscle mass, which means she's going to lead a better life. Super strong. She's smashing out the workouts. She's pretty wild how much she's committed to it. But it's fantastic to see. And, you know, she's so much more energy. And like you said, I guess it's put you in a position now where the weight isn't an issue, right?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, 100, I would agree. And to see that it's an overnight thing, like that's a huge change for me. Big,
Yeah.
that's massive, because normally things don't happen like that at all for me. It takes a long time to get myself into habits and stick with it and keep going and pushing. And I'm always trying to pick up where I can, but sometimes I fall short. But that was just, it's remarkable how much of a difference I feel.
Yeah, just completely shifted your mindset. And I love that because, like we said, if we can avoid the talk about the weight on the scales, which means absolutely nothing to anyone, I don't know how we managed to make it such a big issue in our lives. But yeah, even down to the point of knowing what calories you need to eat now.
Yeah.
So I guess it's still a conversation we're going to have with everyone. Lenny messaged me earlier and she's like, I can't imagine eating 2,000 calories, which is very similar to what
I'm
you have as well.
1,900. Yeah.
Yep. So now the conversation is we're optimizing everything, right? So it's eating to your goals, and we can prove it with the scales as long as we do the weigh in at the same time, the bioscan, sorry, I should call it, rather than a scale. And we can make better judgments and decisions. So you're going to feel better about yourself because you're going to see your lean muscle mass go up, your body fat go down. And if it doesn't, we can just look over the last 4 weeks and be like, all right, have you implemented the behaviors that we set out after each scan? And if the answer is no, cool, that's our coaching point, and we move from there. And it's just, I feel like we can support you better and remove a little bit of emotion. Do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's really massive for me, is removing the emotion, because that's one of the things that drives me, whether it's driven in a good way or a bad way. So
yeah, you're not alone. It's the elephant. So the elephant, the emotions, we are the rider. But once we get those calories up, you're going to be less stressed. You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel more focused, and your actual emotions are going to be more intact because your blood sugar is going to be pretty level.
Pretty good.
All right. So it's just that's our process now. We got to figure out how to get that much food into you and make you not feel sick. But it will happen and it will work, and you'll love it.
Cool. Thanks, Josh.
No worries. Thanks for jumping on. I hope this helps convince some other people to come in and get some scans and just change the way they think about their weight so that we can have a better conversation towards people's goals and moving them forward and feeling better. But yeah, thank you.